great day to be an Eagle. One more time for the greatest team in
Well, Georgia Southern drops to 2-4 overall, 0-2 in Sun Belt Conference play. Cody, 38-35, lost to Southern Miss, national TV Thursday night game. Score not really indicative of the game. We'll break it down, but certainly wasn't close in the first half, and through most of the second half looked like they were going to maybe mount yet another comeback against Marshall 2.0 and the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, but came up short, and now all but mathematically eliminated from East contention in the Sun Belt. I don't see any way where that's possible now with Jace Madison continuing to win. They would need to lose three games and then us go undefeated the rest of the year just for us to have a shot, and I don't see that happening. So goals are already out the window and before even mid-October, so pretty depressing, hence the little blue light ambiance I got going on here if you're watching on YouTube. But yeah, Cody, I mean, man, what a disappointing game and then disappointing week.
Yeah, no, it was I think to me the disappointment is the lack of, or how bad we played in the first half, specifically that second quarter. It just seemed like the wheels fell off in the second quarter. They got 21 points, and it was 28-7, and you just knew that you were kind of stuck in this hole that you had to try to figure out a way to get out of it. I found it funny that I saw at the end of the game, if you watched it to the very end on ESPN2's broadcast, it showed Huff going to congratulate Helton, and he was like, "I never want to play here again." And you could read his lips.
Yeah. Oh no, you could hear it. I saw a clip of it. You could hear it. Yeah, crystal clear. Yeah.
But I mean, I will give credit to the team. The comeback was valiant. I think we put up 28 points to their 10 points in the second half. We obviously got clicking with the offense. Obviously, it's a shame that it couldn't have continued in the second half after that first drive. In the first half, we just really didn't have it. It didn't help with the 2 turnovers in the first half. It didn't help with the anemic run game, which was 0 yards on 14 carries. It seemed to where we couldn't really move the ball, at least running wise. The first half of the game, for those who don't know, I have season tickets, and we actually did go to the game, but since I have 3 young kids who are in school, we obviously needed to get home before it got too late. Matt, tell me, in the first half, was our runs just simplistic? Like, did we just go up the middle and not really try to push it to the outside? Is that how, or how?
Yeah,
because I couldn't really tell.
It looked
from
like
the
it. Yeah, it looked like they were mostly inside runs, no blocking whatsoever, no blocking to speak of. I mean, their line came straight through. OJ Badinga, running back by committee, whoever it was, just stopped behind the line pretty much every play. I mean, there was not even a sliver of daylight for them to run through. But
were they doing
as
any
far as creativity? No, no tosses, nothing to the outside, no sweeps, no in and arounds, no the wide receiver sweep that we've seen countless times with Cobb, nothing like that. It was just straight, let's try to run it and establish it, and was not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it did seem like missed blocks or just missed assignments. Is that what it was, or did Southern Miss do something to where they kind of made it difficult for us?
I know they have the multiple defense where they send a lot of people, and a little similar to what ODU does, and Helton kind of talked about it after the game a little bit, but so I think they may have been throwing some stuff at us that confused us, but yeah, to me it looked just like a mismatch. I mean, we got dominated up front for the second straight week.
Yeah, that first half stats were just, I mean, I'm surprised we even scored 7 points. I mean, 9 of 20.
0 rushing yards, as we're talking about rushing.
2 interceptions, 0 rushing yards, and yet somehow we had 7 points on the board. So I think we're lucky that it wasn't worse than what it was. But again, I think it gets back to the point that there's really been a theme throughout this whole season, is that we cannot put a complete football game together.
No,
we can have a good quarter. We can have even a good half. offense.
I'm trying to think of a time that we had a good half, though. Honestly,
The offense,
if
the offense had a great second half.
okay,
Maybe like a team. I'm talking like
that's what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah.
think the team has had a good half collectively all year.
Yeah,
Like you could maybe say
no.
Maine, but again, like I know, like throw out
I
that
don't count
FCS
Maine.
opponent.
I don't.
Yeah, so you don't count Maine. So if you throw out Maine, I mean, certainly not against
maybe Jacksonville State. I'd say maybe the first half of Jacksonville State, right?
For what? How for defense? No, they were terrible.
What was the score at halftime? Like 31-17 or was it 31-24?
I think it was like 30. Yeah, 24.
Okay.
I think they had scored 24. Yeah, no,
all right.
Yeah, they had given up like 300 yards. No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We did not have all three phases. Like, forget 4 quarters. We haven't done it in the same half. We've had, defense have good second half against Jacksonville State. I know you don't count Maine, but good against Maine. Fresno, good offensive first half, good defensive first half. Maybe that actually Fresno, that might be it. Really, the first half of the season might be it.
The only time they played together as a team.
Yeah.
Definitely not the second half.
No, not in that game. Yeah.
That was terrible.
It was.
But yeah, no, I mean, again, it's a huge, I mean, honestly, that's it. We just cannot play. We cannot put a complete game together. We may put it a quarter. One side of the football may have a great half or may have a good 3 quarters, but there's always some point in the game where they just play absolutely terrible.
And it's frustrating. Like, I mean, as frustrated as I was at half when it was 28-7, thinking like they're gonna, Southern Miss is gonna put up 50 plus.
Oh, yeah.
We're probably not scoring again. This is gonna be the worst loss in Paulson Stadium history. I honestly was thinking that this is gonna be, 2015 Georgia State after Fritz announces that he's leaving. Like, we're gonna surpass that by a lot. And then we come back. And I'm like, surely this isn't going to happen 2 years in a row, to Huff and to Braylon Braxton. And I mean, it came close, but honestly, like, it's more frustrating because it shows that they have it. Like, it's there. They have the plays, they have the capability, they have the talent. Go down the list. That's almost more infuriating to me than just getting your doors blown off like we did against USC, for example, where it's like, yeah, maybe it is just a talent issue. Well, not only are we out coached, but we're out schemed, we're out, talent wise, everything. But yeah, like it's just frustrating watching it because it's like, man, if you even played half that good in the first half, we'd win that game by 2 scores. Yeah. So it's like, where was this? Where was it? Like, what happened? What was said? I know they interviewed French after the game and he admitted, and, kudos to him for being honest. I mean, I honestly, like, the most candid response we've seen out of this team, probably. Certainly don't see it out of the head coach. Of just like, hey, my head wasn't in the game in the first half. Like the mindset wasn't there. Confidence is what he said. Like I just wasn't confident in the first half. I was confident in the second half, and you see the difference there. But yeah, what does it take to get that happening consistently over the span of 4 quarters or even 3 quarters?
Again, that just kind of confuses me. Like, how are you not, again, I don't know, maybe it's something was going on classes wise, personal wise, I don't know, but how are you not ready to play a football game? How are you not playing a collegiate football game that is on national TV, that you're going to have a lot of eyes on this game, and that is a critical moment for your season? You're talking about the difference between 2-4 and 3-3 is huge when it comes trying to make bowls, when you're trying to put yourself in, trying to stay in the conference race, or at least the division title. And I don't understand when there's so much on the line, how, first half, mine wasn't really in it. Or it wasn't confident. Find it. Dude, I mean, something. Like,
exactly.
You
Same
are
with James
one
Madison.
of,
James Madison is
one
a
of
huge
136 guys who have the privilege of being a college football quarterback. Find the confidence. Find it. Yeah. You've had this for now over a year and a half. This is not like this is your first game against Boise State. I completely understand that this is the first half against Boise State and your first collegiate start. You're like, I'm trying.
Shake
Shake
out the nerves. I get it, but
games into it, confidence got to be there. If you ain't got the confidence by now, what in the world? That's a much bigger question and issue.
It is, because it's going to rear its head again, right? And and that's at the most inopportune time. And that's the thing. Like, people are calling for like, hey, we need a bench French. We need to try a different hand. We need to try something else. And and then he comes out and does that performance. So then Helton and others are going to be like, haha, I told you so. And it's like, well, we still lost the game.
Yeah.
And it's because, the performance in the first half is going to, cripple you, and you're not going to be able to come back from that. So it's like, okay, it's great that he has that ability to like face that adversity and like rise to the challenge, but like that, it just can't happen. And not with your QB1, it just can't. No. So it's like, that's one example, but like, it just collectively as a team, I mean, blocking was better. Offensive line played way better in the second half. Receivers were catching the balls better in the second half. We obviously ran the ball better in the second half because we had 0 rushing yards in the first half. But it's like, where is that? What do you need to do to get up for a game like that? 2 games in a row. James Madison, kind of the Super Bowl of the season, start off on the right foot, go to 1-0. Dethrone, the favorite to win the East. You go up there and you look lackadaisical and just like you weren't in it. And then this one, national TV, facing a team with a lot of the same players that were Marshall. They had that comeback last year. Same thing, right? It was like deja vu. I mean, French's worst game of not even last year, but of his career at Georgia Southern was against Marshall last year. And he looked very much the same against the Southern Miss team, at least in the first half. And it's just, it's so frustrating, because it's like you clearly had it all along, but what did it take to bring that out of you?
I don't know.
Why couldn't you?
How do we not know when he's going to go into Georgia State? Is he going to have confidence going in that game? Are they going to have confidence going in that game, as a team? And when, or are they going to need to get down by 28 points before they realize, oh, maybe I should start
and
playing
you're not
going to
beat anybody like that, especially with their defense. Like, it's like, here's the other thing. This is coming off a bye. You've had 11 days to prep for this. You've had 1-7 now. We are 1-7 now in the Clay Helton era.
For this coaching staff to get this coming out on fire. And again, I'm getting worked up. And the more that talking this out with you, I think the angrier that I get as a fan. This is a clear realization of just how bad the season's going compared to preseason expectations to where we are now.
Exactly. I mean, we admittedly, Cody, and you can call it being naive, you can call it whatever you want to call it.
No, we drink the Kool-Aid.
We drank the Kool-Aid before the season, absolutely, and I will admit that. But I would say with every passing week, really up until now, a part of me, it was regressing over time. So it started after Fresno State, 100% to 90%, then maybe like 85% or 80%. So it's not super high going into Southern Miss, especially after what we saw against James Madison and going out of a bye week where we all know the record. So I didn't have super high confidence, but a part of me, a sliver of me was like, we can turn this around.
Yeah.
We can go out there, have a dominant performance against Southern Miss. We can dominate Georgia State at home. We can get to 2-1 in conference play, winning record overall, win some games on the road. Maybe JMU, slips up, a time or two, and we can make this interesting going into November. A part of me thought that. Now it's all diminished. It's all crushed. I mean, like I said, it's over. Those expectations are done. Mathematically, no, there is no way, Eagle Nation, that we're winning the East Division. There's no way. There's
each
zero.
each week it's getting less confident that we're going to even make a bowl.
Yeah, I don't think we are, which is
Yeah.
a whole conversation in itself of like, there's been interviews with Helton where he's talking about that and hanging his hat on like, we've gone to 3 straight bowl games. We've got seniors that could be the first team to go to 4 straight bowl games. It's like, 1, that's probably not even going to happen. Like you just said. 2, we're 0-3 in those bowl games. So like, what is that even that impressive of an accolade? Like you went to 4 straight bowl games. It got embarrassed by MAC teams and Conference USA teams. Like, come on. So it's like, it's what is that standard? Like we talk about it all the time. And, Benko obviously in transitioning from Lunsford to Helton was, 7-5 is not the standard, 8-5 is not the standard. Apparently standard now is like scraping by and making a bowl game. That seems to be the standard.
Maybe we shouldn't have assumed when Benko said that it meant
that it was 9
better.
or 10 wins or
Yes.
back-to-back conference championships and New Year's 6 bowl games.
We should have realized that he was talking
question.
about the opposite. 6-6 guys.
6-6.
6-6.
Best we can do. Best I got is 6-6. It's like the Pod Stars meme. Best I can do is 6-6.
Put Benko's.
Yeah, that's all I got. 6-6. Well, we're 17 minutes in. Welcome to Gata Talk.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Cody. I'm Matt.
We're laughing through our pain.
Yeah, we are. I've got Statesboro Blues going on. Yeah. So, but we do thank you to our sponsors, Can Cut Tools, title sponsor. I do got the sign, Cody. I got the sign for the first time.
There we go.
There we go. Look at that. And so we thank you to Can Cut. Go check them out. Premium drill bits and cutting tools. Owner operator Andy Thompson, Georgia Southern alumni. He's feeling it too. I was texting with him on Friday after the game, and he was like we were saying after JMU, Cody, of just like kind of state of depression. Like all I can do is laugh to hide the misery, and that's really where we're at. But we do thank him for supporting the podcast. Also, secondary sponsor in Section 103 apparel company. Saw they just have a new Kennesaw State line. I only bring that up because there's an interesting little tie-in that we can talk about here in a minute, Cody.
I wonder if he has confidence
to Kennesaw State of their quarterback and how he performed on the same night that we lost to Southern Miss. But yeah, Section 103, go check them out at section103.com. Whole Georgia Southern collection, men, women, and children, everything from hats to outerwear to t-shirts, just like this one with the script Eagles. You can use code GATATALK, that's GATATALK, to save 10% on your order at Section 103. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk about the Kennesaw State thing, actually. Like,
is it worth it though? I mean, I think
so.
All right, there you
I think so. With the state of the program, look, like one of the big things with Helton, and this extends to everything from his player roster to his coaching roster, is that he is loyal to a fault.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that is a theme that I think is not even like a speculation, it's an observation at this point. Right? Like he's the only coach he's ever fired, you brought it up last episode or 2 episodes ago, was Whitley, right? The sole coach that he inherited, that he kept when he assumed the position. Everyone else is left on his own accord. And then quarterback is the next one, player personnel wise, that everybody points to. You stick with Bryn after throwing 19 interceptions, has no investment in the program. He's here to basically collect an NIL paycheck, get a couple sponsors and whatnot, and then ride off into the sunset into whatever he's doing now. Stick with him in the bowl game when he's a 5th-year guy with nothing to carry over, nothing. And, throws whatever it was, 2-3 interceptions in that game and still no change. We've seen it several times with French. The sole exception is going to be the first year under Calvin Treese, because it literally was just him. I mean, there was nobody behind him that was capable. Now we certainly think we have those guys, and he's still, loyal to a fault. Now obviously, and yeah, that's this year with Helton's son, Turner Helton, the backup quarterback, also Tyler Budge. We think he's got a lot of potential, but obviously we haven't seen that. We haven't seen him actually in game action. But then Weston Bryan,
not this year. He was in the
not
game
this
action.
year. Yeah, a little bit last year. But then Weston Bryan, obviously the touted freshman. Every time he's touched the ball, positive things have happened.
We can go 5 minutes into that dumb play that they called when he was on the field.
He's on the field one time that I know
put
of.
him as a wide receiver.
And he's a wide receiver, and it's an interception, right? He throws an interception.
Makes a tackle on.
Yeah.
Of all things, makes a tackle on the.
Yeah, like I said, every time the kid has been in the game, he's made a positive play. Like he's made positive yards.
When he's touched the football.
When he's touched the football, even that, like tackling an interception is a positive play. So like,
he made the only positive on the negative play.
Yeah. And I mean, he had the deep bomb that Cobb dropped, and I mean, literally everything that he could do.
Yeah.
If
you're going to have him on the field, why waste at the wide receiver position?
Yeah.
If you're not even going to attempt to a fake or motion him in or something, just run out. What was it, like a curl or an out route or something, whatever it was? That is so infuriating.
They didn't even put him in on the short yardage. Now, credit like French early on did convert. I think it was a fourth down, right? Fourth and one. It might have been third and one. A long one, and he's fine. I'm
fine with
the line
that.
got a push.
What I'm
fine with
is
that too. But,
don't waste when you have. Yeah, you're in a critical spot in the game, right? If you're just gonna have a pass play with French to a wide receiver, don't waste a wide receiver spot with a fourth string quarterback that you need all your weapons on the field. Either you use them or you don't, but don't put somebody out there to set them up to fail. And that's what I think this coaching staff is doing with a lot of these kids, is that they're putting them in the positions to set up to fail. And it's frustrating. It is absolutely frustrating. They're setting up that was to fail. They're setting up the defense to fail because they don't have a scheme to stop the run. And
they do not.
Putting the front six in terrible positions. You're putting your secondary in terrible positions. And this coaching staff overall is setting this team up to fail. And it's infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. And so we can get back into the Dexter Williams conversation, but when you brought up the quarterbacks and
Weston Bryan,
it brought up that, and that was, my gosh.
Well, so it's a universal thing. Like, I hear you. I echo your frustration. Like that's one example, but I mean, you could say the same thing about French, of like setting him up in certain situations. Like, I agree. Yeah. Like that's the theme. It's like, we have the talent. It's just that they're not being put in the best positions to succeed. They're just not. And even more so in many cases being put in positions to fail, like you're saying. And so it's not just a like French isn't good enough and put in Weston Bryan. Like it's literally like across the board. Like you're saying, defense, offense, everything. Like it's just we're
it's
we have the talent.
Insane. And again, get back to I'll even throw out special teams here. I don't understand why, in any sense, in today's college football, where the kickoff rules is what they are, why in the world would you ever return a kickoff when it goes into the end zone?
Exactly. That's a prime example.
Jalen Cobb, you do not push that out at all.
It's a perfect example.
It never fails. Somewhere between the second and third quarter, they have told him, because he doesn't do it in the other parts of the game, but somewhere in the second and third quarter, they tell him no matter what. I guarantee you, they tell him no matter what, you run it out. And why are we sitting? Because he never gets it back to the 25. Yeah. This is a field position in college football is an extremely important stat, and it's extremely valuable stat if you want to look at team success and overall. So when you're taking away yourself 10, 15 yards by...
We've had horrible field position this season.
You're putting your offense, again, and you're putting them in positions to fail. Instead of starting at the 25, you're starting at the 10 or the 15. Damn it. I'm sorry. I know we don't cuss on this podcast, but we take the touchback, get it at the 25, and quit setting your offense up to fail. You already got to go 75 yards anyways. Don't make it 80 or 85.
And you're right, Cody. That's a coaching thing, because players can like get in their own head and not pay attention to what the play was called or not pay attention to what
Yeah.
the advice was, but then competent coaching staffs are going to ream that player, right? They're going to say never do that again, blah 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 blah. In this situation, never do that, and we're just not seeing it. So like I agree, it's not Dalen Cobb just like mind fog and he's like, I'm going to run it out or I'm going to try to be the hero, because like if you have the right competent coaching staff and they do that where they're like, we literally told you no matter what, don't do it. I don't care what you see. Don't do it. He's not going to do it. He's going to follow orders, right? Because otherwise he's going to get benched and he's going to lose that opportunity to return kicks. And so yeah, I guarantee you it was a directive. It was a directive from the coaching staff of like, if you see it, if you think you can do it, do it. That's coaching malpractice. Like and you're right. Like that's why it's so, it really is all three phases of the game. We again have the guys, we're just not utilizing them correctly, and we're letting them, we're the coaching staff is enabling them to come up short and to fail.
Yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating, because it's like if with the right advice, with the right coaching, with the right guidance, they can succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, they can be a really good team, and it's just not there across the board. And that's what's frustrating. But
no, it is.
Big tangent. The Dexter Williams things. We don't have to get super into it. It's just it is an interesting scenario, though.
Yes.
That they just happen to be playing on the same night, and he went off, obviously backup quarterback last year.
And let's put it this way, Louisiana Tech beat Southern Miss earlier this season. That's also, so that's
they were looking like the favorite to win Conference USA. They played Kennesaw State, who was, obviously fired their coach, break in a new coaching staff, get Dexter Williams, who entered midseason in the transfer portal after not getting the playing time when every opportunity he got, he shined. He did, right? 2 opportunities to win football games for us, won both opportunities. You could argue the 8 wins that we had last year, at least one of them, the Marshall game, we were not winning that game with JC French at quarterback, period.
Yeah,
we were not. Like I said, it was his worst QBR rating of his career at Georgia Southern against Marshall last year. So at least the 7th win of the season was credited to Dexter Williams, and he certainly contributed to the 8th, which was that
South Alabama.
Yeah, South Alabama coming in for that. And yes, French, both times French got hurt. He did start that comeback. Dex finished it, but yeah, I think it is a fair argument to say, like, at least, that 7th win, if not 7.5 or 8 wins,
I know folks want to, again, not to take away credit for what French did in the South Alabama game, but still, Dex still had to come in there. He still had to make the plays. He still made the game-winning touchdown pass in that game. You can't take away, you just can't say, oh, well, French was obviously coming back, but, no. He got hurt. He had to leave. It's up to Dex at that point to finish it off, and he did. So kudos to him for that. You got to give him credit for that. So, I hate that argument.
I hate the argument. He got hurt is the key.
Yeah.
Like in both of those games, what would have happened if he didn't get hurt? We
don't know.
Would have lost the Marshall game. Period.
I don't see him making like one or two throws that he made.
No. I mean, he just didn't have it that night. Whether it was confidence, I don't know. But like, again, it was his worst game, and he got hurt. And then Dex rallied the team back. South Alabama, who knows? But wasn't looking maybe like it. And that's the thing, is like Helton's hand was forced in that situation. He had no choice but to play the backup quarterback that was Dexter Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in, he does literally everything possible to like show that like I could be that guy, and then never gets really an opportunity again. And that's infuriating, because again, it's just loyalty to a fault. And this isn't like a knock on French or really
Yeah.
on anybody. It's just like it's concerning as a fan because to me it's more of the coaching staff. Again, the only guy you've ever let go is Whitley. So like, is he going to let go of Bailey? Like, we are still the 6th worst total defense in the country. We're allowing 37 points per game. We're allowing 417 yards per game. It's probably not going to get much better. If like,
no, not at this point. I mean,
not at this point.
You can maybe make the argument that the competition that we have coming up over the next 6 games is not as good as what the competition was in the first 6 games.
We're not going to get in the top 100.
But no. Yeah, we're not. It's
we might improve from 6th worst to like 10th worst or 15th worst. Like seriously, like 37 points per game. Like I know total defense is like yards. I always look at points, like defensive points allowed. We're 37 points per game. Is that going to sustain for the rest of the year? Probably not, but it's probably going to be like 35, 34. And that's still way too high. So like,
let's put it to you this way in terms of the points per game, because I don't know if it's going to get any better. For the points per game, take out Maine. The actual FBS schools that we've played against, we've given up 34 more. The least amount was Jacksonville State. They scored 34 points against us.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia State's offense is bad. They're only that's their next game. They only score 17 points per game. So like, it's possible that
they may score 40.
It's possible to hold them to 35 or less is what I was going to say, but like maybe 30 or less. Like we could hold them to like 28 or something, but like that'd be yeah. Anyway, the point is like,
though, if you hold them to 28, you still have to score 30 or you do to win.
And that's going to take at least 3 quarters of consistent offensive play. If not 4 quarters against a certain opponent, right? And that's the concern. Is like with the defense as bad as it is, we have to outscore people. We can't turn the ball over 3 times. We can't have an anemic offense in the first half. We can't have an unconfident quarterback, starting quarterback for 2.5 quarters of play. You just can't do it. So
Correct.
like, we're not going to win another game if that equation continues to play out the rest of the year. And again, with when it comes to Helton, like the main theme here is like he just hasn't shown that he can be that guy to make that hard decision to bench.
Here's the thing about Helton. He talks a lot about areas of growth with the team. The man needs to look in the mirror and find out where his own areas of growth are.
Admitting defeat, admitting when something's not
honestly,
working.
Yeah.
Definition of insanity. Keep going back to the well.
Yeah.
Like the man is insane because literally for 3.5 seasons, he's gone back to the same well.
Yeah.
He has. And the best has gotten us is 8 wins. And this year, the best is possibly going to get us 6 wins. And probably not. We're like probably at best a 4-win team right now.
Yeah.
If we're being honest with ourselves. And, so yes, I agree, Cody. It's like, look yourself in the mirror and say, where can I get better? It's swallow your pride, whether it's quarterback of who's the quarterback, who's the golden boy, whether it's like my buddies, that's the OC and the DC, the assistants there, they're too green, they're too inexperienced, play calling, hey app, like let me step in and do it. And we don't know if that's even happening.
I don't even know if I even want him to call plays at this point, because if you're not making the correct decisions within your own coaching staff, why would I trust
clock management's awful. Game management's so bad. I mean, that's why we lost the game. Yeah, we mounted the comeback in that.
I mean, that's not why we lost the game. I mean, it definitely.
If we didn't burn those two timeouts earlier in the fourth quarter, we would have been able, that last drive, we would not have been in desperation mode to try to strip.
Well, if you don't call the time, here's the devil's advocate to that. If you don't call the timeouts, then they're just going to waste the clock. So you're still going to be in the same clock crunch.
We were trying to play it where we got to stop without them getting a first down before the 2 minute.
Which it would have happened if they would have, again, not had where we would have told our defensive guys it's more important to get the guy down on the ground before he crossed, before you try to strip the ball.
Yeah. jump on his back and just like like
Yeah,
literally
make
just
sure
get him
he's
down.
falling down,
Yeah.
and then as he's falling down, again, the key to the comeback last year was those 2 fumbles. But what was happening with those 2 fumbles? We were tackling to the ground. We weren't trying to stand him up. We weren't trying. So again, I'm not gonna fault him for the timeout or give him.
I'd have to go back. I mean, I only watched it in real time.
I'm not
and,
like
and at the time, to me, they didn't make sense, especially the second one.
They may not, and they could be fairly criticized, but I'm not going to go as far as saying they're the reason that they lost us the game.
Like,
I will say,
not the sole reason.
I will,
but
I will say that it is a gamble. It is a risk to call the timeouts at that point for sure.
Helton does it. I think what's working against him is he does not have a stellar, even dating back to USC days, track record of being a great game manager. He is not. And to your point, like, oh yeah, like we don't want him calling plays because he can't even like call the timeouts at the right time or know when to challenge, bad calls at the right time. Or whatever. It's like, well, if you add something else to his list, what's going to happen?
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I will give Helton credit. He was on those refs the entire game. With as bad as the officiating was at times, I will give him credit that he was doing his best to politic and try to get those referees to fairly call the game. But with that being said, it's no surprise that I feel like the 2 worst officiating conferences are the SEC and the Sun Belt, and they're ran by the same guy. Case in point, the Georgia Auburn game tonight. But it is just, I don't know, Matt. I think Helton has, over the next 6 weeks, he's got to make some changes, and I think he's got to start with himself. I think it has to start with his coaching philosophy. I think it has to start with his own preparation to game week. I think it has to start with his own preparation or his own, I think, really maybe even management style to his coaching staff. And it's going to have to, you can't make wholesale changes at this point. You got 6 weeks. You're going to just have to kind of make do with what you got. But he's got to take, to put it to you this way.
Do you think you wait to make them all when like wholesale changes have to?
No, you don't wait to make them all, but I don't know if it makes sense to try to do everything all at once either, and to create so much change that it causes more disruption within the team.
Sure,
right?
And I don't think that happened. Like I can't recall a time where like an OC and DC were let go,
which is why
the same time.
I'm okay, because it's not going to change the fact now. It's not going to me really make much of a difference of changing offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators at this point, because there's nobody to me really on staff that can step in and take over those spots at this moment. So you're really going to do your team a huge disservice if you remove them right now. But I think there are probably some things that he can probably look at and say, okay, I probably can manage this different or better and attack that. But he is going to have to take some, again, I would even go as far as the preparation in the offseason, to self-scouting, to offensive philosophy, to defensive philosophy. This whole forced turnovers crap, I'm done with it. The main goal of a defense is to get the opponent off the field as quickly as possible. Get stops. Exactly. So this whole overemphasis on turnovers, done. Whoever you bring in as your next defensive coordinator has got to make the emphasis on we get the offense off the field.
Less yards. Yeah.
Yes.
Less yards, less scores.
We stop. You know, I don't look at Indiana or Kurt Singetti's defenses. I don't see them overemphasizing turnovers. What I do see them overemphasizing is good tackling, aggressiveness, and getting the opponent off the field. Fundamentals.
If turnovers happen, even better performance. It amplifies it. But like, exactly. I hate that. And then I think offensively we can just get like you said, the philosophy thing. I don't think he's too tied to the defensive philosophy. I think he can like swallow his pride and let go there.
I don't know if even at USC, did he have really any sort of a good track record of hiring defensive coordinator?
So
there you go. That's where you have to make the change in how. Look, he's a math guy, right? He has his degree in math. I have a degree in math. When you're proving an equation, if you get to the end of it and you realize that it's wrong, what you've done in that proof is wrong. So you need to go back and figure out where the error is at. Same thing with his coaching style and how he determines his coaching staff. There's something wrong in how he's going about that. He needs to figure out where it's at and change it, because it's not where. And look, this isn't to say that he can't do these things. There's been other coaches that have, but it's gonna take a huge self-reflection to admit that. And again, it's hard. He's been doing this for 30 something years. It's hard for somebody who's been doing this for this long to make those corrections at this state in the game.
Yeah,
But he's gonna have to be. I will say that you look at Nick Saban. He made a completely different offensive philosophy change when he brought in Lane Kiffin, and he didn't want to.
He's a defensive guy. That's what I'm saying. Like I think if it's not something that's your bread and butter, you would think you'd be more okay with of like, hey, we have the 135th worst defense in the country.
Yeah.
And last year we were 130th, and the year before that we were 128th. And like, we got to change something here. So let's go out and find the best possible guy we can. It's not even about philosophy. It's just like, go and you run your ship and you do it.
To a certain point, right? Whoever you bring in, you need to make sure, okay, what's your emphasis on what's your standard of defense? What is it you find important? All right. If they start talking about freaking turnovers.
Well, yeah, and I don't think most would, because that's one
Obviously,
guy who has no business being an FBS DC because he's had 1 year of college experience, of FBS experience.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just owning up to that of like, no, I need to go find a guy that's like done this, that's done it for many years, that has adapted, that has changed, and
I'm all for trying to go find somebody at the FCS level at this point.
100%. Go find a guy, whether it's like an old, tenured dude that's just been happy doing whatever and doing that, like
Harvard.
Harvard. No, I was watching them last night. Yeah, they're still undefeated, by the way. And their head coach, I was hoping he was a defensive guy. He's actually been a defensive guy, but he's mostly been offense recently. So he's coached both sides of the ball. But as a coordinator, he's only been an offensive
coordinator. Say that in jest, because I think that defensive coordinator's been there, like 20-something years?
Their defensive coordinator is a Harvard grad, and he's been there forever. But who we should look at is West Georgia's head coach. West Georgia's head coach was, what was that?
A defensive coordinator?
No, they're for defensive coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Taylor. I forget his first name, but their head coach, he's turned them around. They just moved up from D2 to FCS.
Yeah.
They're playing really well. He's a defensive guy by trade. He was Mercer's defensive coordinator. Did really well there. I think he was in the Drew Chronic tree.
Okay.
But yeah, he's head coach there. I looked it up. He's making like $135K. As head coach at West Georgia. So, go and pay him, Bailey and Applin are making $250. Go pay him $300K. Like more than double his salary.
Joel Taylor?
Yeah, Joel Taylor. Yeah, go get Joel Taylor. And then you got a guy, go in, say, hey, run this defense how you want, get FBS experience. And if he turns that defense around and makes them, even a top like 80 defense, and then Helton can figure out whatever he does on offense, whether it's through himself, through Applin, or through somebody else, Helton gets hired away and, gets another job, and then you got a guy in waiting and Taylor to possibly take over. We're talking years here. We're not talking like within probably 1 year span, but you bring in a guy like that's like capable, that's got experience, still a younger guy, but like got solid experience.
For what it's worth, he did. I'm just reading something about him. It said that he inherited a Mercer defense when he first took over that ranked 106 in country in scoring defense. And when he left the last year that he was there at Mercer, they ranked 30th.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
exactly.
It does seem like he has at least a track record of doing it at the FCS level or something like that.
He can recruit in Georgia. He's like I think he played here or somewhere close by, and like obviously he's been at other
Obviously,
schools.
he played at. I think he played at South Carolina. Yeah, he played at South Carolina
Played at
State,
South Carolina State, right? Yeah,
and he was a part of the 2010 team that I think that Georgia Southern beat
yeah,
in the first year that Monken was here.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, it's I'm just, I mean, yeah, I think that right there is something that somebody that you've got to
Like
look
he's
at.
not from the Helton tree. He's probably never like talked to the dude in his life.
Yeah.
May have never even heard his name, but it's like, go get that guy and say, this is your defense. Go right. Like, I'm not saying like, I hear you, Cody, like philosophy, whatever, but if like, that's not your specialty, go find the best guy for the job and
Yeah.
say, go run this,
Yeah, no, I
you
think,
know? And then offensively, because he is offensive guy, Helton is like swallow your pride, which I think like he's done a little bit. Yes, he came in, it was like air raid, bring in Van Trees.
I
you
will
know,
give Helton this. He turned an option team that was not a very good option team, and in the first year they had averaged 30 points a game, right?
Yep.
That's a pretty impressive mark since that hadn't really been done. The first time it was tried here, it
was a
crashed
disaster, yeah.
out, right? Outside of Jason Foster and that incredible season that he had, it wasn't really that great afterwards. And a lot of other places that have tried to go from option to air raid or option to NFL style or pro style offenses has not really been as smooth as what ours was. I will give him the first 2 years we've averaged 30 points or more a game, but the last 2 years have been left to be desired. And there's one obvious change that happened, you know. So yeah, I think again, Helton it's crazy to think about, but I feel like the best coaching staff that he had was the first year that he was here with the least amount of talent that he had to work with.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna have to go and rebuild the coaching talent on this team around him. But no, offense, you're gonna have to go find somebody who can to me be able to, I think, effectively manage a game from
Yes.
first quarter and really game plan.
I was gonna say game plan, scout, like be able to like not just like run like scripted plays and then run some razzle dazzle.
It's so
trick
crazy
play.
how I
Yeah.
feel like at times that our offense can look really good for a drive, and then for the next 3 drives, look like they have no clue what they're doing.
The announcers on ESPN2 actually nailed it. They had said like offensively, really, I think that they might have just been speaking as like a team, but I would say offensively, they were saying for the game, but like really all season, everything looks hard.
Yes.
On offense. Like everything we do looks forced. It looks rigid. It looks, it just
It's not smooth.
It's not smooth, whether it's like the blocking up front on a run, whether it's like a rollout pass that makes like, it's like, oh, I don't know if he should have thrown it like that, but like the receiver made a great catch. Like we're making plays, but almost like in spite of ourselves, right? Like, like it's just like,
I'll be honest. We haven't shouted this guy out, but we should, because I think he's having probably the best season as of now for a receiver in our history.
Camden Brown,
12 catches, like 150 something yards. I mean, if it's not for him, what offense do we have?
We have none. Yeah, it's it's a great example, Cody, because like he's coming down with like catches that he shouldn't be coming down with.
No.
And yeah, no, it's a great point, because it's like it reminds me, like that's how Bryn was too. When Bryn was at quarterback, the offense, like we moved the ball, passed for 3,500 yards or whatever it is, a lot of touchdowns, but also a lot of interceptions. And like everything just kind of looked, it was just a little off. Like it wasn't that we weren't moving the ball, but it just looked like it was just too much effort than what it really needed. Where then you look at like Braylon Braxton on some of those throws, and you look at JMU's quarterback, and you look at Jacksonville State's quarterback, and you look at Fresno State's quarterback, and it's like everything there, it looks like boom, boom, pick part.
I wouldn't say
maybe not Fresno State.
I would say JMU. I was watching the Indiana game or Oregon game, and the way that they run their offense, and this is how Kurt's getting ready at JMU too. it looks surprisingly simple but very effective. They have a very great run game that gets them great yardage. Their passing game, they don't try to really overcomplicate it. They take what the defense gives them. If the defense gives them a 5-yard completion, they'll take it on a little out or a little flat and move to the next play. And then if they, they'll go for the explosives or they'll go for the 12, 15-yard pass and go from there. But I feel like, Kurt Singetti's, the way that his teams play with this really simplistic style almost that just allows them to be extremely fast and extremely effective. And you're right. I feel like with ours, it just seems like everything's way too complicated and it slows
way too complicated,
down,
forced, yeah.
And we get just annihilated because while we're having to think about what we need to do, the other teams are just blowing right on past us.
I agree. Yeah. And as a fan, it's like you're watching it on like pins and needles because it's just like, I don't know what's going to happen. Where, like, honestly, the only time where I didn't have that feeling was under Van Treese. Like, when Van Treese was running that, like, it was very fluid. It was like, boom, find the guy, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Methodically moving down. And now it's just like, roll out, play breakdown, do this, receiver make a great catch.
But what was it? I'm trying to think. I feel like a main reason probably was because of Richard Owens and the offensive line coach.
It's the offensive line, yeah.
I mean,
he only got sacked 6 times, and yeah, and then I mean, French got sacked 7 times against James Madison in one game.
I would feel like Van Treese would have those games where he would have like the Georgia State game, for example, where it felt like that was forced and we just could not get out of our way in that game. And there was I want to feel like there was a couple of other games that were that season, but
yeah, I mean, he threw like 15 interceptions. Don't get me wrong, like
But you look at
we were 6-6.
Yeah, the Nebraska game was very fluid throughout that game.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
run game, passing game. They couldn't stop us. Now, hell, we couldn't stop them either, but they couldn't stop us. JMU, they could stop our run, but we were just like, all right, fine, we're gonna just throw it, and this is the best shot we have at winning, and it worked. Probably shouldn't have, but it did. But yeah, I again, you're right. I think what they said on the EST on the broadcast was probably perfect. Everything looks hard.
It's it's almost like playing in slow motion.
Yeah,
and it's like and it shouldn't, because I mean, like, we have fast guys. We're not a slow team.
No,
we have fast receivers. We have fast running backs. We have a mobile-ish quarterback. Like, I mean, it shouldn't look like that, but it does.
And our offensive line has talent. I feel like
they do. We thought it was going to be the strong suit of the offense.
Yeah,
and so far it just hasn't been. But I guess, Cody, let's move into Georgia State, because I mean, this one now is, I mean, every game here on is a must win.
Yeah.
To try our best to salvage this season.
Honest to God, if there's one game that we have to win out of these games, it's got to be this game.
This is the must win of all must win. Not only is it against your in-state rival in Georgia State, it's against Del McGee.
It's at home.
It's at home. It would be the biggest thing, I would say.
Yeah.
We cannot lose back-to-back games at home against Southern Miss and Georgia State. That was Southern Miss's first win on the road in 2 years.
The previous 2 years were under Will Hall, and they were terrible teams.
It was.
This is not a terrible team. This is not the same
not.
Team. That's why I hate those comparisons with. Well, look at what they have. No, this is a Huff coach.
I get it. It's a Huff coach team with better talent.
They have played well.
We still shouldn't lose at home.
We shouldn't have. And if we'd have played a better first half, we wouldn't have lost. Period. But this is a team that we should, at least on paper, we should win. They have not played that well. I think they got beat pretty bad by App State today,
41-20. Yeah, I'll share it. So
go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll share the screen here if you're watching on YouTube. If not, definitely subscribe there. But yeah, this team is 1-5. They
One win again. Oh yeah, Murray State.
Murray State. So they have not beaten an FBS opponent this year. And the only team they came close to beating, ironically, is James Madison. They hosted them in Atlanta. That was just a weird ball game.
But that was off of a bye week where
That was after a bye week.
we had just played them the previous week.
We just played James Madison, and there was like over 100 yards for both teams in penalties in that game. I want to say there was like multiple turnovers. I mean, I could click into it. But yeah, so this was a game where Georgia State led 7-0 at halftime. And then JMU shut them out in the second half and won 14-7. But it was let's go to team stats real quick. Time of possession, pretty even. No turnovers for either team. Okay, so I was wrong there.
Penalties,
11. Yeah, look at that. 11 penalties for 100 yards for JMU, 15 penalties for 114 yards for Georgia State. And yeah, I admittedly did not watch the game. I just know from hearing from people, it was one of those just like weird ball games. So anyway, that was the closest they played. So obviously that got people's attention, like, oh, maybe Georgia State's like defense is really good. Probably not. I mean, App State, not the best offense in the world. They score 41 points. This game, today wasn't ever close. App State was up 31-0 at one point in this game, and then I think Georgia State didn't even score until the second half. So Georgia State scores 20 points in the second half. Shut out in the first. It was 17-0 at halftime. Like I said, 31-0 at one point, and then Georgia State started to come back, and then App continued to pull away. And and I want to say, so, I mean, they were 9 for 19, Georgia State was, on third downs. They had 381 total yards to 435 against App, for App.
They threw the ball 61 times against App.
They did. Penalties a lot better, 2 for 30. They did turn the ball over once. They had an interception. And the quarterback in this game, Cody, was Cameron Brown, not Camden Brown, so that's going to be confusing. But Cameron Brown, who TJ Finley, if you remember TJ Finley, the journeyman, that was Texas State, JMU, South Florida, Arizona State.
Was it JMU? I thought it was somebody else.
I thought he was at JMU for a year.
I see. That's the craziness of it, is that he's been to so many places.
He's been everywhere. I don't know. Now we're going down a rabbit hole. Where did I find?
I think it's bio or splits, something like that.
I don't know where to
go to it says splits right there next to game log.
Oh, okay.
No. Go bio. Try bio and see if that shows it. There we go. Western Kentucky.
Oh, Western Kentucky, Auburn, LSU, Texas State, and Georgia State. Holy crap. But yeah, it's that TJ Finley.
Yeah.
He's been their starter. He is their leading.
Is he the starter, or is it Cameron Brown that's their starter? Because I feel like the folks at Georgia State are like done with the TJ Finley experience. Like they just want Cameron Brown to be there.
Now I think Cameron Brown is. I think he started as the starter.
Okay.
Like if you go to their stats, he's their leading passer still. 725 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's been sacked 8 times. And then Cameron Brown, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. So 1 more touchdown than TJ Finley. Only been sacked twice. So, and higher rating. So, so technically their passing leader going into this game is TJ Finley. I don't know if it was like an injury situation. I don't know if it was just he got benched and Cameron Brown came in. But yeah, so that's where we're at with that. But I was gonna go back to that game. Yeah, so he had so they both played in this App State game.
Mhm.
I don't know who started. I'm gonna say probably Finley,
I can
but
tell you who played better.
yeah, but it's clear to see if you're watching on YouTube who played better. So Finley was 13 of 26, 91 yards, one interception. Cameron Brown, 19 of 35, 212 yards, two touchdowns.
And he rushed.
Um,
He rushed for 30 yards in that
and then he
game.
rushed for 30 yards and a touchdown. So he had 3 total touchdowns in this game. So there you go. So like that's alarming to me because again, like, you know, they were able to hold JMU to 14 points. Obviously, defense didn't play well in the App State game, allowing 41 and over 400 yards. But they might have found their quarterback. And they might have found it at the perfect time, at the detriment of us, right? So that's where I'm concerned. But yeah, like it's not a good football team. They might be getting better. They might be finding something, figuring something out. But point blank period, we can't lose this game, especially at home. Um, it's just
No,
it's a
we
must win of
can't.
all must wins.
Yeah, and right now the perception is that they're probably the worst team in all of the Sun Belt. At least going into this week. And so we gotta. I mean, honestly, we gotta just take care of business. And look, I know that we've talked for an hour about the difficulties and the struggles of our football program, but let's just we'll find some positives here. It was only a 3-point loss
Yeah.
to what is probably a very good Southern Miss team that could very well be the West Division champion.
Yeah, I was gonna say easily top 3 West team. Probably.
Okay, yeah, I'm probably top 3 West team right now. Texas State's 0-2. I think they're 2-0 now because they beat App worse than they beat us. I'm talking about Southern Miss.
So they're Southern Miss is 2-0. Troy is 2-0.
Okay,
ULM is 1-1.
So. And Arkansas State, are they 1-0 or 1-1?
Arkansas State's 1-1.
1-1. Okay, so again, Southern Miss has a legit shot of winning the West. You look at who we lost out of the East, JMU. JMU very well could be the winner of the East. So right now, they have a stranglehold on it with ODU losing today.
Yeah.
So again, not to completely dump on the season. We still have 6 games ahead of us. This would be a great game to just go ahead and win, and get a little bit of confidence back before we go on. I believe it's Arkansas State. That's the next game after this.
Yes.
And so it's again, and you never know what you're gonna get with Arkansas State. Arkansas State to me is a Jekyll and Hyde team.
They're a crapshoot. Playing them at home, playing them on the road concerns me. But
to me, similar, a high-profile name coach that's trying to get their, get back where they want to be in a probably a more high-profile job somewhere, trying to get back on track and struggling with it. This is, I think, his 5th year now at Arkansas State.
It is, yeah.
And
can't get out of purgatory.
Yeah, and he's seen again. They beat Texas State, but so did Troy, but they play terrible against some of the other opponents that you feel like aren't as good as Texas State. So it's sort of.
I hear you. Yeah. So silver lining, I think, we have had a stacked schedule. We have. Like Fresno's a lot better than I think we thought they were going to be. Thought they were going to be
until this past week.
This past week they lost, right? Yeah. But. Yeah, Colorado State. Yeah, that was wild. Wild. Yeah, I live 20 minutes from Fort Collins.
You weren't at that game?
I was not at that game. I might go to the Wyoming game though, because up in Wyoming, because Laramie, Wyoming is only an hour and a half for us, and always wanted to see a game up there.
Yeah,
but yeah, so that was surprising, but they're still better, I would say, than I thought they were going to be. Jacksonville State better than I thought they were going to be. Bain will just eliminate them. James Madison looks
look the
good.
part.
I mean, they looked the part, period. And then Southern Miss, no one knew, obviously thought could be better because of overhaul and roster and better coaching staff. Like you said, very much right now, I think the favorite probably to win the West.
Yeah.
So stacked as it gets to start the season. Now, does that make up for the fact that we are 0-2 in the conference? And
No.
then again, we're not going to win the East. We're just not. No, it doesn't.
And it doesn't make up for the fact for how we've looked too, and how we've played, in the first 6 games. But
it doesn't. But if we can just put together even not just the 4 quarters, but even like 3 quarters, the rest of the way, maybe not the rest of the way, but against most of the teams we play, Georgia State, Arkansas State, Coastal, App,
we could finish 6-6.
We could finish 6-6. We could finish 7-5. Honestly, I think the ceiling now is 7-5. That's the ceiling. That would be a huge ceiling. Ceiling.
That's going 5-1 down the stretch.
That's 5-1 down the stretch. But that's the ceiling.
Feel like
and that's what we have to ask.
More 4-2 and probably 3-3 if we're lucky.
4-2 would be 6-6 overall.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if that. I don't know if that's the. Yeah. No, I hear it. Again, ceiling of ceiling, I think would be 7-5.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to hit the ceiling, but I'm only bringing it up because it's that's not the standard.
No,
right?
It's not the standard.
We're talking now before the season. I made a point to
maybe
say
there's a
I
new standard. Chris Davis hasn't came out and told us what the standard is.
Yeah, we have no idea. We have no idea what Chris Davis thinks.
We don't know what.
We don't
Chris
hear
Davis
from Chris Davis on X. We don't hear from Chris Davis in email.
He does tweet when certain sports does well, when other sports do.
Right. And it's very,
we don't know what the standard is for football. So we're on a wait and see for the football standard.
We are. But again, literally we went out and we're the same record as we were last year. And the expectation that we were going to be better than we were last year. In the preseason episodes, I had said, I don't care what the record is because I wasn't concerned with out of conference, right? I was thinking we could be 1-3 and out of conference and still, which we were 2-2, and I shouldn't have said it, but and then we could have run the table, got in conference play and just been no, we're the power. Not the case now. So that's not what I was trying to say. I thought we were going to be a contender. I really did. We're not a contender.
Oh yeah, so did we. If you look at Phil Stowe's magazine that came out, he said the same thing. It's 2-horse race between us and JMU. Everybody else thought it was a 2-horse race.
We're still stuck in the staple. We're not. We haven't gotten out of the staple.
Man, stable. Yeah, I mean, on live support, about to be glue.
Glue factory. I was gonna say, are they in the glue factory?
You're right. We talked about this before we got started, and I'll go ahead and mention it because I think it's relevant now in the conversation. But this is, to me, the biggest disappointment that we've had in terms of preseason expectations to where we're all now halfway through a season. As it's the same, to me, type of disappointment as the 2016 season with the first year under Tyson Summers.
Everything was in front of us.
Yes.
Everything, the expectations
and
were super
again,
high.
It was still 2016. You had high expectations. You knew you still had the hard game against Western Michigan. You knew you still had the hard game against App State, right? But the expectations were we're going to compete and we're going to
because of the roster at that point.
Correct. I mean, everybody had
No one knew what the coaching staff was going to do with Summers, but because he wasn't.
You just thought
he wasn't a big
competent coaching that we were going to be
with that roster and with the schedule, we could be competitive.
We would be very
competitive. This is year 4. Get in Helton's guys, hopefully with a competent coach and competent staff, also with the roster, building off an 8-win team.
Yep.
That, we could, uphill battle, a lot of hard teams we're facing them on the road and things like that. But we could be that team. And again, like, yeah, it's just it's disheartening because again, we run the table and we're the same record as we were last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all know we're not running the table.
No,
So,
not based on the first 6 games, and not
not
based
based on that.
on
Yeah.
the inabilities of the defense now at times, and again how the offense will just completely go away for a quarter or a quarter and a half.
Yeah. For me, the ceiling is 7, like, and that would be a huge, but again, even that, it's like you're going 5-1 down the stretch, and that's still not good. I mean, it's still one game worse than last year. You're out of the East Conference race at that point. You got 3 conference losses at that point. And it's like, to what avail, and then it's like, and then we'll look at it and be like, well, we went 5-1 down the stretch. So we're not making any changes because there's the momentum, right? So it's like, do
Look
we
at the
even want
points
that?
per game, it's like in the 20, some of this other shit, and it's just like, man,
I know.
like,
but I would say the floor, we haven't talked about the floor. I think, like, I don't know, maybe my floor is the same as your floor. I would say, like, it's a multi-level house for me. Like, I would say the ceiling at this point is 7-5. The floors, we don't win another game.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm trying to think. Marshall's going to be tough. It's at Marshall. ODU, we've never really played ODU that great.
Now they lose to Marshall. They got blown out by Marshall.
Yeah, they
Old
did.
Dominion. So that was the surprise of the weekend.
I think we get Coastal at home, but Coastal actually looked decent against ULM.
They're a little Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah. And I don't have a lot of confidence in home, based on what we've seen so far.
I would say just, I don't know. To me, again, I think maybe, I think you're right about the floor. I was going to hope.
I mean, you could argue 3, but I mean, is that much better?
I was going to try to say 2 and 4 is the floor, right? Because of State and Coastal. You still got Arkansas State.
2 and 4 in the conference.
Yeah, no, just 2 and 4 the rest of the way. Yeah.
Oh, 2 and 4 the rest of the way. So 4 total wins.
Yeah, 4 total wins.
Yeah.
Because, those other 4 losses are 3 road games, right? Between App, Marshall, and Arkansas State. And then you got ODU at home. So that's, I don't know. It's I'll be a little bit more positive. I'll say 2 and 4. But I understand what you're telling about when
again, it's a wide range, and I think honestly I would split the difference. So, like, I don't think we're going to hit the ceiling of 7. I think it's possible in some realm, but I don't think we're going to do it. I also don't think that it's highly probable that we're going to do 2 wins either. I think we're a 5-win team. Like, I think that's what it is. I think we go 3-3 the rest of the year, and we're a 5-win team. We're 5-7. We miss a bowl game, and that's going to be just terrible.
Yeah, that would be terrible. That would be very terrible with where we thought we would be at the end of the season. But
and again, like 6. I mean, 6 is definitely possible. Well, 1 game up from that, but then you're 6-6 again, and then what do? You lose to, Miami of Ohio. You lose to, Ball State. That's also 6-6 or something. Western Michigan. Like,
who knows?
Yeah,
we get some other 6-6 team out of Conference USA. I don't know. Maybe at the end of the season, we'll know what Chris Davis's expectations are. We have yet.
We haven't. Yeah, it's been crickets.
Yet
it's been absolute crickets, and it's frustrating because I will say, there's obviously pros and cons to every AD, pros and cons to Jared Benko. One thing I did love about him was transparency.
He was very open.
Very open, or at least with a spin. Like, you're going to have the politician spin to it, of course.
I would say very open, at least in terms of interaction with the fans. Not very open about contracts.
No, not open about contracts. And if you haven't listened to our last episode, the emergency pod, definitely do that. Contentious episode, Cody. Like, a lot of people were upset about it. This isn't news. And it's like, I don't know about that, man. Like,
the news was, to me, the main news was the continuous renewals after every season.
100%. And maybe we didn't make a big enough deal about it.
maybe.
But again,
But there was a lot of stuff to go through, right? Like, I mean, there was a lot, we had to.
Well, even the coordinator salaries that wasn't widely publicized. Like no one knew. Like generally, they knew how much they made. They didn't know the guaranteed contracts. They didn't know if it was like typically, it's like 2 to 3 years. So it's 2 years for both OC and DC, but they just got renewed. So we're gonna have to pay that out. Like no, that wasn't widely publicized. So like. I don't know. I mean, again, I think the general perception was that like, hey, if we're quote unquote stuck with Helton, like, it was going to be fairly cost effective to move on from people. I wouldn't say that's the case. And then if we got desperate and had to move on from Helton, like we could make it work. And I don't think that's the case. I mean, we're talking $4 million.
Yeah,
$4 million.
Maybe this will be a lesson for regional journalists to hopefully do some digging after each season is over with, or at least maybe the start of the new year.
I'll go ahead and tell you that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to take a fan or two.
It's going to take a fan or two. Yeah, it's not. If it hasn't happened in 25 years, Cody, it's not going to happen. Like it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I'll give Josh Aubrey credit. He was there when I was there covering the team, and he's come a long way, and he asks hard questions, and we appreciate him. But there's only so much one person could do, and it's sad that like this isn't something that you'd see at a big time program.
No,
it's just not.
No, it's not. And honestly, you look at other programs within the Sun Belt, and I don't think you really see like JMU up at Hattiesburg. I think you see the media around there be a little bit more professional, keeping the athletic department
accountable.
Yeah,
under a watchdog, right?
Yeah, I feel like the Savannah media just doesn't care, to be honest with you. And I mean, kind of why should they at certain points, right? I mean, they're more focused on the team in Athens than they are this. I feel like.
They are. I mean, look, I spent 10 years in journalism. It's you cover what pays the bills, right?
Yeah.
So like if it's not getting the views and stuff, if it's not worth your time and effort, like why bother?
Yeah.
So like it was life support for a while where we had dedicated, Don and other people like covering the team, and then it just went away, right?
Yeah.
Like you no longer had a beat writer because
And I feel like some of the news stations around just rotate sports directors like crazy, almost, and so you feel like it's
they do. It's a leaping pad.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. You get a 22-year-old guy that comes from Michigan, and like he'll do his best to do it. And I think those guys more so than the print journalists for sure. They've done a good job because they want to elevate. They want to show that like, hey, if I get that job covering Wisconsin, or if I get that job covering, wherever, Ohio State, like I can ask those hard questions and do it. So I think they've done a better job of it. But yeah, the administration, even since I was there, I mean, it's very lock and key.
Yeah,
it just is. And you have to do the song and dance and play nice if you want to have access. And it's just, we have a lot of people that are fine with playing nice. It's just that simple. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we need to discuss? I think this game comes down to us. Can we put at least 3 quarters together? And then in the 15 minutes that we play terrible, can we not at least play terrible enough to where it loses the other 3 quarters?
I think that's a great summary. Honestly, it's game's literally about us. Like, we are a better team than Georgia State. Point blank. Period. We are. We have to show it. We have to show it for, like you said, at least 3 quarters, and have that 4th quarter not be totally detrimental to us, that it upends everything. Like it is. Like now,
feel like hate week? Does it feel like
no? It's desperation week. It doesn't.
There you go.
We're down bad. This is the toilet bowl. It's a 2-win team versus a 1-win team. This is terrible. Like, I mean, it's not a good place to be in. Ben Moore hasn't even like said anything yet. Now we're recording this Saturday night, so maybe things start up. Who knows? There'll be accusations and all kinds of stuff probably. but he likes to stir the pot. But even he's been very quiet recently.
Yeah,
And I think that says everything. Like both programs are just down. We're depressed. We're sad. And if we lose to that team in Atlanta,
that'd be the
it's
only
gonna
highlight of their year, to be honest with you.
It'd be the highlight of their year. It'd be their Super Bowl. For us being them, it won't be the same. It'll be like that's the expectation. But if we lose to them, just devastation. Like I said,
yeah.
that is rock bottom. If we lose to Georgia State, it's rock bottom. And at that point, again, back-to-back home losses, lose to a one-win team, you have to make a change.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make changes.
Some kind of change after that game. That
Yeah.
like you're not waiting to the end of the season if you lose this next game.
I mean, yeah,
period.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can't. And the silence from Davis has to be broken. I think it should have been broken after this game. But again, we haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
But there's got to be some statement to the fans that like you lose to Georgia State, like Southern Miss, the optics look bad because of, again, who Southern Miss has been, but you can kind of spin it. You can't spin this.
No, you can't spin this. You can't spin this game.
Can't spin it. So
it is a rivalry game. Yeah, it's Southern.
Team has to be up. If the first quarter is down, I'm gonna be so mad, Cody. Like you can't. Like, what more motivation do you need? Like you should be pissed after losing at home.
Yeah.
You have the fifth best win had the fifth best. I haven't checked. Had the fifth best win percentage at home in all of FBS going into that Southern Miss game. You lay an egg on national TV. You have your arch rival, your in-state rival anyway, coming into town. You just handled them easily after a hurricane last year up in Atlanta. If they don't look fired up,
that completely devastated the area.
Devastated your area.
Yeah.
But like if you cannot get up for this ball game.
Yeah, this is you gotta win this game.
That it's the fire that I want to see. Like it's not like rally in the second half. Come out and hit people. Come out and make plays. Come out and bounce around on the sidelines.
Not punch. Don't punch.
Don't punch. But yeah, like with control. Yeah, discipline. Right. Be disciplined.
Don't punch 3 times after the whistle.
Gosh. Yeah. But like that. Like be fired up. Be disciplined. Be tough. Show that you're the tougher team.
Yeah.
Show that you want it more. Like just show that tenacity, that desire. We just haven't really shown that, to be honest, to start a game all season. We haven't. We didn't even show it against Maine. We haven't. Yeah. Where did we show it? We didn't show it against Fresno.
No, I'm trying to think.
Didn't. We have not been an amped up team to start a game this season.
USC to an extent, but not really.
No, not really.
You know what serious said?
Not really. We got lucky on a strip fumble and put the freshman in. Yeah. No, we haven't. Like, I want to see us back. Like, you looked at the JMU game and they're bouncing around on the sideline. They're getting amped, and we're just like, just like hanging out. Like, I want us like amped. I mean, even if we're making mistakes amped, I just want us amped. I'm serious. Like, I just want us like not obviously like late hits and stuff like that, but I want us hungry. We have not been a hungry.
We didn't even talk
team.
about that part of the game on Thursday. It seemed like every one of their touchdown drives was amplified with a 15-yard either personal foul or pass interference or something that extended a damn drive. Or man, I am mad. This the extended drive.
Well, yeah, no, yeah. So it's we took what an hour and a half to get there. 12 penalties for 104 yards.
Yeah, definitely the least.
104 yards. That was like what JMU and Georgia State did.
Wonder if it was the same referee crew.
Maybe.
I mean, honestly, just
might have been.
But no,
a lot of that was us. A lot of that was us. Like I'm not saying there weren't bad calls, but the late hits, and the punching at the ball, like all that stuff, like after
Yeah,
the
that
whistle
was
and stuff, you just can't
yeah.
do it.
No.
And the defense again, like I don't even think I said this on air. I told you before. I thought the defense, like the stats don't show it obviously, but like I thought the defense played better. I honestly think they did. The offense gave them no favors. They turned the
No.
ball over 3 times, 2 times in the first half. They had several 3 and outs. Time of possession was very even because Southern Miss decided when they got those quick possessions back that they would just take shots on us, and
Yeah.
more often than not, those converted. But yeah, I
Yeah.
honestly thought the defense played fairly well. It was just we shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, we had certain
Several
penalties
times.
that were on third downs or, gave them a new life inside the red zone. So no, I hear what you're saying about we need to be amped up, but we also we got to be disciplined too.
We gotta
And
be disciplined. Yeah.
we can't go out there and honestly do what we did against Southern Miss and help them keep drives alive.
Yeah. I
You
just
know, I'm
like, I mean, I don't like it's homecoming. It's like Ag Day. It's like all kinds of stuff, right? It's a white out. It was a blue out against Southern Miss. Credit to the students, by the way. Students came out for the first half. They all left in
it's
the
20
second
to
half
7,
of
and we
of
did
that
not look
game.
good.
No, I agree. I'm not.
I mean, I'm
saying
not upset.
credit. I'm not upset. Credit to the students. Home side looks sparse. Not surprised by that. It's going to be interesting to see what this is. You lose this game, don't expect anything. Don't
Yeah,
expect
that's the
anything
other
after
thing
that.
too. Why I think this is a huge game to win is because I think you're right. If we lose this game, I don't expect really
No one.
to see much. Yeah,
No,
throughout
don't
the
pay
rest
for
of
a hotel.
and
There's
then on top of that, the momentum going into next season is going to be completely shot, and you're going to have to honestly build what you've tried, kind of already built up to. You're going to have to try to rebuild that again. So this is a very important game for not just the rivalry's sake, but this is important, I think, for fan support. I think this is important for
donations,
donations. This is important to
student morale.
yeah, just
like-
even the chance to try to make it to a 6-win season. If you lose this, we're not making it to 6 wins. I guarantee you that.
No, we're not. We're absolutely not.
It's and honestly too, this is a game in which I think could very well you could see the tides turning in the locker room, to be honest with you, if we lose this game with kids giving up on the season and everything else. So
yeah,
no,
you
I
lose.
think this is
There's no excuse to lose to Georgia State.
huge
There's just
for
not.
many reasons outside of
There's
just
not.
the
Yeah.
rivalry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I hope it's like I was hoping that was going to be the case against Southern Miss, but it definitely needs to be the case here.
Yeah.
Of like come out and honestly, not even just like win the game dominantly. It's at home.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Like just blow a team out and show like, hey, look, no, we're not where we wanted to be. We're probably not going to achieve the things that we set out to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
But like we're a better team than what we showed the first 6 games of the season. Like that's what I want to see.
Pride, a little bit of pride.
A little bit of pride of like, hey, we're pissed. Like we had a tough luck. We had 2 games in California, played a good Jacksonville State team, beat them. JMU is as advertised, lost to them on the road, struggled out of the bye week as usual. Southern Miss, though, not the same Southern Miss team they've been the last couple of years. And now, like, the season's starting. And we're going to show who we really are, who we want to be, who we know we can be. That's what I want to see in this game. And if we don't see that, not just in materializing in a win, but honestly materializing in just a dominant effort, I'm going to be just completely defeated. I'm already, pretty
close.
sad, pretty
close.
depressed. I'm close. I didn't even want to record this podcast, but like, we might shut this thing down. I'm serious. If we come out as just lackadaisical and we get blown out against Georgia State, we're
No.
too. It's so frustrating because we're better. I know we're better than it.
I think we kind of changed the format of the podcast, to be honest with you. Instead of recapping games and stuff. I think it's just
It's what's next. It's just all
yeah,
what's
it's got to be a what's next type.
Where do we go from here?
West Georgia head coach looks like a great option to look at.
Yeah.
But no. All right. Anything else? I think we kind of hit everything that we can think of and discussed, and
we did it for now. Yeah, we did it for now. We'll thank the sponsors again, Can Cut Tools, KNKU.
Show the sign. Show the sign. Bang it. There we go.
And
Matt's going to be banging that sign all over the place on Saturday.
Yeah, and then section 103, obviously use code GATATalk, save 10%.
I don't have it on now, but I did wear the blue Whose House, Our House shirt to the game deal.
To the game. Well, that's not maybe yeah. I always do you get superstitious about?
Yes, but not about the shirts, about the hats.
Hats, okay.
Yeah, I actually I wore the American Eagle hat that I've had for a long time.
Will you not wear it again, or do you won't?
No,
wear it again
I wouldn't. I will not wear that hat to a game.
Retire it for the season.
I think I should probably retire because I feel like the last 3 or 4 games I've wore that hat to, we've lost. I think I just need to retire that hat from this game. Period.
I'm not that way with hats. I'm that way with shirts. And then I used to have a jersey. I mean, I still have the jersey, but I have not worn it. Because every time I wore the jersey, we lost. And then I had a shirt like that for a while. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think I think the hat's gonna have to go.
Yeah.
But I think as long as we keep losing, I'm gonna wear my all black.
The all black's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's classic. All right. Well, yeah, Cody. I mean, we'll call it. Hopefully, we'll have better things to talk about.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
Otherwise, we'll just talk about the future of better days. Maybe Clack will get his YouTube channel back, and we can.
We'll just recap.
We'll just screen. The 6 national championships. That'll be our last. that'll be our final episode.
Right.
We'll just screen them, and we'll just talk. Man, look at Adrian go.
Yes.
So look at that boy.
We'll just. We'll do YouTube lives, right? We'll just come on and just watch the game and then just comment on it as it's going on.
Yeah, I like that. It's like our own the Manning cast
or Mystery Science Theater.
Oh yeah, I like that. And then we could bring on guests.
Yes.
Like we bring on Kevin Ellison. He's like, man, I would have never made that pass. Like you wouldn't have, Kevin. You would have, Kev. I know that. But yeah, that's true. I like that idea. All right, something to sit on.
Something. Yeah.
Back pocket idea. All right. Well, with that, let's hope for the best. Let's hope we can turn things around, improve morale. But it's always Hail Southern and no place else, Cody. So
that's right.
Southern.
Especially during this week, Hail Southern.
Man,